This is Joe Hernandez, the voice of Daruk and Yunobo in Zelda Breath of the Wild, asking you to subscribe to Game Over Jesse and listen to our interviews and episodes together on this Zelda podcast, the Hylian Gamecast. And for all the latest up-to-date news on your favorite Goron, be sure to follow me at Joe Hernandez VO.
Guslas asked a really good question. We also love Guslas. He says, question, is the Triforce with the royal family since Wind Waker?
Ooh.
So, what the heck happened to the Triforce after... recap. Up until Wind Waker, Triforce of Courage was scattered all over the bottom of the sea, and Link rebuilds it. Triforce of Wisdom was cut into two parts. Tetra had one part. King Daphnes had the other half, and it gets combined, and then Tetra has it. Triforce of Power, Ganondorf apparently just had all this time since Ocarina of Time. He just kept it for however many 100 or so years. So after that, it gets combined at the top of Ganon's tower. Ganon goes to wish on it. He's about to stick his hand out. King Daphne trolls him by touching him for wishes, and then it goes into who knows where. After that, in Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, there's no rhyme or reason or mention of the Triforce at all. So I would say no, that they don't have it. I would say it probably poofed, dispersed itself, maybe returned to the Sacred Realm because a wish made upon it. And it just, you see it like vanish, like poof itself and fly off into who knows where. So that would be what I would assume, is that it Sacred Realmed itself, just went back and was like, hey, cool, wish done, good job, guys. Bye, peaced out. And then, there's no mention of it at all. Even the crest Spirit Tracks in New Hyrule is doesn't have a Triforce anymore. It has the Hylia crest with the bird wings, and then an inverted triangle instead of the Triforce.
Huh.
So.
Yeah. Because I guess technically you don't have to have... Like, Link doesn't have to have the Triforce of Courage. He just embodies the spirit of the hero.
Right. Exactly.
And she has the blood of the goddess. Goddess.
The
blood of the goddess.
Yeah.
The Wingardius Leviosa.
Also, Denny said, maybe if I fuse my rings together, it'll become the Triforce of Wisdom. The Ring of Wisdom. It's like Lord of the Rings and Zelda at the same time.
Oh, no. Perfect. Triforce of Dancing, I like that. This is actually live bonbon. But yeah, no, that would be my assumption based on my just piecing together the chain of events right now. But again, this is theory time, so that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna stop.
I also don't know those. I know Wind Waker, but I don't know Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks enough, I feel like, to give an in-depth answer. I do remember it disappearing at the end of Wind Waker. I always wondered if maybe because he made a wish that had a pure intention, a good intention, that,
Ooh,
it did,
yes, you have a point.
It just disappeared.
Because the Triforce lore is if a person with a pure heart makes a wish, that wish will be granted. But if a person with an impure heart touches the Triforce, it will split and they'll be able to possess the piece that most embodies their desire, which is why in Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf got the Triforce of Power. Yeah.
Because if he wanted wisdom, he wouldn't have been doing what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been like, that's not right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's true.
It's just like, no.
Yeah. Maybe he just values wisdom, but he doesn't have it. That's why. No, but
no.
Valley Gomu.
It's like me as a Ravenclaw. I value wisdom, but I don't have it.
There you go. But Valley Gomu in the chat says Triforce works like the Dragon Balls after the wish. Just could be. I think Dragon Balls. Jesse, what does happen to
I don't
the
know
Dragon
Balls?
Scatter across the universe, don't they?
Yeah, they scatter across the Earth for 1 year. And then you can collect them. They just turn into normal rocks. And then, you can't tell if they're Dragon Balls or not. And then after a year, they turn back into Dragon Balls. And then you can try to find them again.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's whack. So what if you just hoard as many rocks as you can?
Well, I mean, you could, but then...
you got a whole pile of rocks. You're like, none of these turned out to be. But
yeah.
I like DJ. If Ganondorf wanted wisdom, he would have gone to a library.
Ah, true, true. But I'm gonna stamp. I feel like my answer. I cannot think of anything to refute it. I really think Sacred Realm makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what happened to the Triforce after making the wish to, because in most things, like, you only get a limited supply of wishes, but they never really state what happens in Zelda. Like, they just brought up Dragon Ball Z in the chat, and like, that is sometimes, like, whenever it first started, you'd get one wish, and then it ended up being 3 wishes. But in Zelda, it's like the game always ends on the one wish, but you don't see what happens to the Triforce after. Like in Skyward Sword, they still have the Triforce. Yeah.
But in Link to the Past, he does not. It stays in the Sacred Realm.
Yeah. And in Link Between Worlds, they go to the Sacred Realm to use the Triforce to bring back the other Triforce.
I come to think of it, the only times I can think of that the royal family for certain has the full Triforce is obviously at the end of Skyward Sword. They have it. Zelda, I'm pretty sure backstory of Zelda 2 states that they had it for a while after A Link Between Worlds occurs. They had it for a while, and then there was a whole conflict of the prince, whatever, and then they kind of separated them, put the Triforce of Courage in the other really killer hard palace way off in whoever knows where land. That's not the main section. Yeah, Daniel's on this podcast because he looks like Beetle. Thanks for that. thanks for that.
Hey, that fan art was always one of the best ones.
That is true.
He is Beetle.
That is true. But those are the only times I can think of offhand that the Triforce for certainly with the royal family, or like the complete Triforce set. I don't know. I might be wrong though. I might be forgetting something.
I mean, I wonder if the Triforce works similar to when Link and Zelda show up, is when the threat of Demise becoming embodied again happens. They're like, oh, not every time, because the Triforce isn't in every Zelda. Sometimes it's alluded to, but, you know, I'm just wondering if it might work like that, because it's always funny how Ganondorf tends to be a lot older than Zelda and Link, so it's like, as he comes into adulthood, it's like, oh, we need to have a Zelda and a Link born now.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the idea of something with the curse of Demise that they're tied to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's whack. Breath of the Wild has it. Breath of the Wild Zelda has it probably, anyways. It's not confirmed, but Xavier...
Yeah, they show it on her hand.
They do, and it is interesting because it does show full 3 pieces on her hand, not just wisdom, which you would assume that she has.
Does it show all 3 of them? I mean, I know it shows all 3, but maybe I'm just misremembering. I thought like the one in the left corner was filled, but I might be making that up in my head.
I have to check now, but I'm pretty sure it shows all 3 filled in.
I have no idea.
Which is pretty whack.
Which, yeah, they usually show the imprint of all 3 on everyone, but then it fills one. Like, even with Link in Twilight Princess, I think it is, like, his hand glows.
Right, but only the one is filled in.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
now I need to watch that scene.
It doesn't appear in any physical way. That's the only thing. And it's conceivable that the royal family would have it because so much time passed between other Zelda games, no matter which timeline you want to like slap it into. The most likely being, like, if it's in the Downfall time, it's very conceivable that they'd have all 3 pieces of the Triforce. From Zelda 1 and 2, basically reassembles all 3 pieces himself. He gets the Triforce of Power by killing Ganon in Zelda 1, spends the whole game of Zelda 1 reassembling Triforce of Wisdom, and then he gets Triforce of Courage in Zelda 2. So, I mean, it would be very feasible for them to have it in that timeline. In the child timeline with Twilight Princess, I guess it would probably be feasible after, or it would just Sacred Realm itself, because you see it disappear off Ganondorf's hand at the very least.
Yeah.
But not Link or Zelda's, so I don't know. But
I wonder if that's because he did.
He did, yeah. That could be it. It could just be that he did.
Like, oh, he finally died. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so...
Take it back.
Mm-hmm.
Especially...
RPG, just Google it. Whole Triforce is lit up. There we go.
Okay, that makes sense. Save me some time. But I guess also because so much time has passed, like you said, and given... This is obviously speculating what we might or might not know about what's holding Ganondorf down in Breath of the Wild 2. If that was something that was put on him by the royal family, maybe they did that, and then they were able to get all 3 pieces of the Triforce, and they kept it safe, and they were like, we got him on lockdown, we got these here, just don't touch him, don't ever talk about him again. Let's just move on. Oh, claim it again, and that might be a problem.
That's a slight problem. It's only slight.
Like, what's worse, that or Ganondorf? I don't know.
Well, Calamity Ganon might have been just a unanticipated side effect of holding Ganondorf down. But now we're really jumping into theory territory. I mean, we already were, sorry, but now we're like really jumping in. But I don't know. Jesse, you've been quiet this whole time.
I like hearing you guys discuss all of the different theories and stuff.
Sometimes I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do.
Ganondorf
so I don't
just
have many
being
theory
too...
videos on my channel. It's usually like just random discussions. But every now and again I have a theory idea, but my biggest fear is always like, what if there's going to be like 2 comments in, actually, did you know A, B, and C? And I'm like, dang it. That's always my fear when I make a theory video. It hasn't happened yet where someone's commented something that should have been obvious to me. It's usually more speculation, and I'm like, oh, that's cool to think about. I didn't think about that, you know?
Yeah, sometimes though, I mean, sometimes I have to like cross-check comments that are like that on my own videos where people are like, oh no, actually, but there's this, and I'm, is that true though? Because I swear I did research on this, and then I have to go look, and I'm like, no, it's not. But or there's the case of one of my videos where someone said, oh, you used all this evidence, like interviews with Aonuma, and that doesn't count because it's not in the game. And then he's also went on to say, well, those things in the game don't count either because they're Easter eggs. And I'm like, well, then what counts, man?
Yeah.
What counts?
It's like, what matters then? I don't know. Someone told me Breath of the Wild is just a glorified bunch of Easter eggs. And I'm like, there are a bunch of Easter eggs.
Sure.
But it's also the end of all 3 timelines, so sure.
Just having something in there like Linebeck Island, that's an Easter egg, because you look at that and you're like, oh, Linebeck, like, oh yeah, that's an Easter egg. Having something like history in the game where it says this person was in this game's history and this happened with them, like say Root to Zora tablets, I wouldn't call that an Easter egg. That's just like lore in the game.
Yeah.
So,
and I can understand not wanting to listen to interviews, but that's also because of my mind of what authors have done to book series and movie series. I'm like, I don't want to listen to you anymore, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
So I'm like, I don't even trust developers and directors and stuff anymore, because I'm like, until you put it in the format of the story, I'm not listening to you.
Sure. I would say like Nintendo is not bad about that though, because most of the time when people Nintendo like on a question like that, his answer's like, well, I can't tell you. So
I know, it's so funny when people ask stuff, they're like, well, what if it's this? It's like, he can't tell you that.
Yeah.
Just play the game. Wait till it comes out. And I will say games are a little bit different because they can say one thing and then the game comes out and you're like, oh, it's actually not that. So then your theory video from 2 years ago was a fun theory video. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. Heck, if my theory that I've been holding on to for Dragon Break comes out, the Breath of the Wild 2 comes out and it completely disproves that, if something like that were to happen, dang. But like, I'd be like, hey, at least I had this theory and it was fun,
right?
And got lots of attention, and which is not the reason I made it, but it was a cool idea. And but like, you know, that's the nature of theories, right? you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be prepared for whichever outcome it happens to be. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So, yes. Jesse.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Same.
Okay.
No,
I think that's...
Yeah, I think that's a good point to end it. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark. So, unless Geek has anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay.
But it was a good TED Talk.
It was, thank you. Perfect. I think that's all we can be.
And the 60 people in the chat enjoyed it, so
Woo!
you have that.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So, Geek, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find some more stuff from you.
You can find me on my YouTube channel at The Geek Apprentice. I have hopefully 2 this week, if not 1 this week, 1 next week, that I'm doing collabs with some really cool people. So be on the lookout for those. It's going to be very, very exciting. I'm also on Instagram at The Geek Apprentice. Sometimes I do spur of the moment story Q&As, and low-key copy Daniel on that. So I don't think my answers are as nice as his. I usually just copy and paste the question with a black background and say, here's my answer. I never go as in-depth as I probably should.
No, my Q&As are absolute nonsense and by design, so yours are...
Well, that Inception thing you had going on with Denny was driving me nuts. Was going nuts.
We hit 100 posts on our story.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. It was good. It's a great time.
But yeah, Instagram, YouTube, I live stream. Normally I do multiple different games. Right now it's just Animal Crossing. Oh, and I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but eventually I will be playing The Sims 4 on this channel, Game Over Jesse's channel, where I'm going to create the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫 on The Sims 4, and possibly a few other random. Maybe I'll make like Zelda or someone, and then I guess I'll just spoil everything. And then eventually what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to leave my laptop on the game open overnight and see which Sims are left in the morning.
Oh, no. Oh,
which will be a year in their time.
They will have killed
like 11
me.
hours for me.
They'll have murdered me and buried me, and guys.
That's why I can't do just the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫. I have to make other people, because odds are all 4 will die. So
oh, no.
It'll probably be like 2 left by morning.
Oh, no. That's amazing.
So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to make the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐞𝐫, and then we're all probably going to die.
We're all... Make that the thumbnail. The thumbnail should be, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
And just a big thumbs up.
Be like, but not of a virus. It has nothing to do with that.
No.
We're all going to die. Sims 4.
Sims 4, yeah.
Make it quick.
Exactly.
Daniel.
Jesse.
Where can people find you?
Oh, I mean, if they feel so inclined to,
they should.
If they want to, they can find Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube all at Capt Burgerson, CAPBURGERSON. I do stream at least twice a week on Twitch, although the last couple more because I've been home more, and that's a thing. We just started Majora's Mask on Wednesday, so Tuesday we'll be jumping back into that. It's great. It feels really good to just jump back into just classic Zelda, because that was initially what I started the channel doing. So I do stream on both YouTube and Twitch, actually, using the Restream service. So, but usually Twitch is the place to be, because that seems to just be where everyone shows up to. Some people show up in YouTube, but most people show up in Twitch, and the chat gets really bumping and very fun. We have a great old time. So come hang out there at my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CapBurgerson. I also do make the occasional video on YouTube, not as much as I stream, but not as many videos as I'd like to, but I do occasionally make videos. I do have one going up this week as well, so keep an eye out for that. And it should be just a good old time. Otherwise, every time I post anything or about to go live, I always post it on Twitter. So if you just want to know what the heck's going on, that's the place to find out. Yes, words. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Alright, and I am 𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐸. You can find everything at 𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐸, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything. Twitch is @/𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐸. And you can join our Discord and chat with all of us. And a bunch of the other people that are in the live chat are already there. So if you've had fun watching along with the people in the chat, then you can continue chatting with us in the Discord. And that's everything I have. So, yeah. So, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Geek. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Thank you, Jesse, for
Yes,
having
thank
us and
you.
hosting us and bringing us all together.
Indeed.